Welcome back to the farm for another project. This is your first time. I hope you enjoy. We're hanging out here with Matador, our newest addition. This is our male little mini donkey, and he's just a little goofball. So I got a really fun order from a recent customer. I always love when a customer contacts me and says, I'm gonna kind of let you have some creative freedom with something, because I really enjoy kind of making things that are a little bit more out of the box. So let's head inside the shop. I'll show you the slab we're gonna be working with, and let's get started on today's project. Man, look at all the curls and all the color in this maple. This is just gonna make a beautiful 3D carve. Really excited. I mean, look at all that like quilting. This is gonna be awesome. All right, I'm gonna do a final pass. You don't need to watch that because you can kind of see my lines here from where I just smoothed it all out. We're gonna come back and do a really nice final leveling pass, make sure this is perfect, and then we'll start the 3D carve. Man, this maple is just gorgeous now that I got some sunlight on it. I'm really hoping all this character comes out in the 3D carve because that'll just make it awesome. So we're going to try something a little different with this. I manipulated the software last night to try to save some time for the epoxy cut down on the base of it. So it saved me about 3 hours doing it this way. Let's hope it works, because otherwise it's going to cost me $125 slab. So let's keep our fingers crossed and get this thing going. Alright, so now you can probably tell what's going to be the different character on this one. So not only are we doing Kodiak Island, we got the entire island and a couple little surrounding ones here. We're actually going to cut this out in the shape of a Kodiak bear. So right now we just got done doing the roughing, and all the mountains, everything came out good. We didn't lose any of these peaks because I do have a 1/2 inch exaggeration on this one. So I wasn't sure how it was going to work out, especially using maple. Normally I use a little bit harder wood for this, but I wanted to really have some more colors and stuff in here, so that's why I picked out this slab. So far it's coming together really nice. So now I'm going to change out to my 1/8 inch bull nose, and we're going to do the final pass. Now I'm probably not going to video this whole thing because this is a 6.5 hour carve to finish this out. So I'll probably cover the video here for the first part of it as it kind of comes through, kind of show you some of the highlights as how clean it's going to come through here, but I won't show you until everything's all finished. So let's swap out these bits and finish this thing up. Okay, now we've got the carve is all done, the final pass is done on this, so now we're going to cut this thing out. So we got my extra long bit, since we're cutting out 1.77, and I slowed this down a little bit, so hopefully it won't be too aggressive. So let's get this thing cut out so we can start pouring some epoxy. Alright, the cutout pass just got done. Get it to pop right out here. Man, the character on that maple is just incredible. That 3D came out perfect. So now you can see down here, we have a 0.1 of an inch at the very base of this to pour all the epoxy. Now where it's going to get a little tricky is where the water actually comes in here, and some of these spots where water comes in, like this one here. The water comes in pretty substantial inside here, so it's going to be a really slow go with the epoxy to make sure we don't get anything on any of the islands. But man, that came out just awesome. This is going to be really fun. So now we got some sanding, some finish work, and let's get some epoxy going. So here's the color blue, so let's get it mixed in the epoxy here. Okay, so here comes the moment of truth here, is pouring all the epoxy. So we've got a couple little spots where we have to make sure the epoxy is actually going to be flowing in here in between the islands. So I'm going to kind of flood it out here just really lightly, and then I'm going to come back through with a syringe to try to really kind of work it up in these spots. Hopefully we don't go too deep, because there's a whole bunch of little tiny islands all around this main island that we want to make sure that we don't flood them. So let's keep our fingers crossed here. is coming with the island. Really makes that maple stand out. We'll let this epoxy dry here for 48 hours, and then we'll put one more thin coat of a clear epoxy over everything to kind of seal the whole project up. All right, the epoxy's been on here for 48 hours, so everything's nice and dry. We're just coming through and making sure that everything is nice and clear. The only thing I'm not sure what happened is you can kind of see this little bit of a swirl here, and I got another little bit of a swirl here, and I poured this whole thing at once. I'm really not sure what caused that, but I don't know if it was because it got so cold at night or what, but all in all, it just came out really nice and clear. And then what I went ahead and actually added a dark stain all the way around the outside here to kind of finish things up. So we'll let that stain sit for an hour. We'll put the French cleat on the back, and we're going to call this project done. And here we are, all finished up. Epoxy's all had a chance to dry. We've got the dark stain all the way around the border here. It's all dry as well. It was a challenging project, but man, what a fun one. And I really hope she likes it because I think it just turned out awesome. Well, thanks for sticking around for another build, guys. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, feel free to give it a thumbs up. Feel free to share. If you have any questions or comments about anything, please put those down below. I'll do what I can to answer them for you. If you really enjoyed this project, you want to join me for all my other projects, all my other adventures, consider hitting the subscribe button. Again, thanks for watching, and I hope to see you around.